emperor to injure it was an affront that could never be forgiven. But Qin Shi Huang stood firm, unmoved. "I've defeated kings and brought domains together. Do you believe a creature such as yourself intimidates me? If I die today, I die with no regrets, because I carry the pride of my people and the burden of 1,000 years." That defiance at last wore away Orochi's patience. With a roar, all 8 heads charged together, a maddening tide of fangs and rage. But every blow was parried with blinding arcs of steel and crashing footfalls. The human emperor planted his feet firm on the ground, parrying one serpent after another. But he was only mortal. Gradually, he started to tire. Wounds opened on his body, and his stance weakened. Meanwhile, Yamata Orochi, despite its wounds, kept regenerating, its divine body repairing itself with shocking haste. Within moments, all wounds would vanish. In the Eastern Realm stands, many viewers could no longer bear to look. It wasn't that the human emperor was feeble, but Yamata Orochi's endless regrowth was too horrific. Even Qin Shi Huang himself seemed to quake. In every single ancient book he'd read, even the immortals weren't absolutely invincible. He did not falter. Within the duration of a 10,000th of a blink, he moved again, chopping off another serpent head. He would experiment with one hypothesis. Could he kill quicker than it could cure? But already after 2.5 turns, the Orochi made a vicious blow. It had felt his weariness, knowing that every one of his attacks had been slower, more desperate. Boom! Qin Shi Huang's body crashed into the arena floor, stone bursting about him. He fell to one knee, gasping for breath. His strength was all but spent. In the stands, a little girl wept hysterically. "The mythic arena is filled with the blood of our forebears. It's too hurtful to bear." Dean Lixian's face crumpled into despair. He had resigned himself to losing. If Lu Changsheng was still alive, perhaps the Eastern Kingdom had a chance. But now he couldn't afford to lose another ancestor. Yamata Orochi pushed forward with crushing pressure. Although it only had 8 heads, in the emperor's mind, they went on forever. But under the pressure, Qin Shi Huang felt something familiar. A pulse. A current. The qi of the Eastern Kingdom, ascendant. He stood upright again, voice booming like an imperial decree. "All under heaven is the thrones, and you dogs have the temerity to frolic in its power." And then, from the bodies of the elites on the ground, sacred shadows were dragged up, hauled towards the arena. Not only them. Throughout the kingdom, infinite golden soul flames erupted in the bodies of all divine subjects, gathering towards the human emperor. The deluge of golden spirits in the arena was in fact the heavenly Qin armor, a holy legion originally created by the human emperor himself to protect the Eastern Kingdom for hundreds of years. Qin Shi Huang issued a cold laugh. "Dare you challenge me?" With a single thunderous roar, "Kill!" the sky itself trembled. The champion of Yamata no Orochi began to panic. How could a mere human god summon such terrifying divine forces? But he clung to his arrogance. No matter what, a human god was still just that. A human. They would never rival true gods like his Yamata no Orochi. Still, he thought of another way to win. Kill the chosen one. Lu Changsheng. And the match was his. He used his ability, his body dematerializing from view. "So what if you're favored by heaven? I won't let you live long enough to develop." Whoosh! In a blink, the foreign champion rematerialized behind Lu Changsheng. Both Di Lixian and Lu Yinran cried out in alarm. "Behind you!" Clang! The sword glided against his neck, but didn't even graze him. Lu Changsheng immediately closed his hand around his foe's wrist. Boom! With a flawless over-the-shoulder takedown, he crashed the enemy onto the arena floor. The audience gasped. He just became a divine chosen, did he? And his affinity with his god is hardly anything. How can he be this powerful? Lu sneered. Okay, my affinity for Pangu is low. Just 1%. But even that small proportion gives me the power of creation itself. And for that rusty sword of Matsumoto's, he gave a derisive look. That piece of play material couldn't even scratch my flesh. My body's already as hard as stone. The champion of the Sakura Kingdom soon bolted to his feet, obviously shaken. He had not anticipated Lu Changsheng, a recently awakened chosen, would have such monstrous physical strength. But he still managed another trick. His body suddenly started to split in two and a second identical figure was created. You wretched worm. You don't even know what true divine magic even is. Matsumoto bellowed. Shadow. Clone technique. This is what sets us apart. My clones have all of my strength. Now 2 against 1. Let's see how long you can keep it up. I didn't spend a word. I sprinted forward and grabbed both of his legs. One clone, one real. Boom! I slammed the two corpses together with bone-crunching force.